The piece that's in the Grace Jones project here at MoAD is actually two pieces. It's from this longer series that's called Covers, and the first in that series was my reenactment of Grace Jones's Iron of Life album cover. Really, it sort of started a few years ago when I rather naively discovered that that image of Grace Jones was like a kind of composite, airbrushed image. And I'd always taken it to be like this image of her as this amazing superhuman person. And I was really interested to find out the process in which that image had been kind of constructed. So I thought it would be interesting to recreate an image that is in essence impossible. So the actual original image is they shot Grace's body from different angles and then kind of spliced it together. So I really like the idea of this kind of disconnect of me in a domestic space trying to recreate that image. And really the whole subsequent kind of cover series is about this idea of, through imitation and reenactment, they're really, for me, kind of critical tools of inquiry. Because in order to reconstruct something, you have to pose questions or a series of challenges that mean you have to interrogate the original. I mean, I think myth, for me, is really important. This idea of self-mythologizing, there's this fabulous word, mythopoesis, which is exactly that, this notion of kind of creating your own myth, creating your own narrative. And again, I'm particularly really interested how in this period of the late 60s, 70s and into the early 80s, which is this kind of hotbed of identity politics, interrogations of kind of race, gender, sexuality. How a lot of those arguments, a lot of those debates are distilled through pop culture, through this format, which is purposely dealing with representation and identity. So for me, the performance is a kind of sort of tool for kind of like, partly because you can see the construction, they're like really absurd and cheesy and I hope funny. And that allows people, I think, to kind of engage with them on a playful level, I think. And again, I think this thing about kind of copying and imitating is a way of trying to kind of understand the process of constructing that mythology.